Welcome to English Podcast.
Hi everyone, I'm Lisa. Welcome to Simply Explained English, the podcast where we break down English words and phrases to help you understand and use them easily.
And I am Eric. In each episode, we'll explain 5 words or phrases, give you examples, and help you practice your English skills.
Whether you're a beginner or looking to improve your English, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Okay, what are the words today, Eric?
The first word today is entire. Then we will continue with to insist and above all. Then to mess up. And the final one is it's not my cup of tea.
Let's start with the first word, Eric.
The first word is entire.
Entire.
Entire. Entire is an adjective that means whole, complete, or full. When you say entire, you're talking about all of something without leaving out any part.
That's right, Eric. Let me give an example sentence. I spent the entire day cleaning my house. This means that I cleaned my house from morning to night. Here's another one. She ate the entire cake by herself. This means that she ate the whole cake, not just a piece of it.
It's important to note that entire is usually used before a noun, like entire day or entire cake.
Now let's have a sample dialogue using the word entire.
Before that, we'll watch some movie scenes.
Sam's working at something for the first time in his entire life.
Theoretically, yes, but we've never shut down the entire system before.
How was your vacation, Mary?
It was fantastic. We spent the entire week exploring the city.
Wow, the entire week? What did you do?
We visited all the famous landmarks, tried local cuisine, and even took a day trip to the nearby mountains. It was an entire week of adventure.
In this dialogue, Mary used entire twice to emphasize that they spent the whole week exploring and having adventures.
It's a great way to show that they made the most of their vacation time.
Definitely. Speaking of vacations, have you ever taken an entire month off to travel?
I haven't, but it's definitely on my bucket list. I think it would be amazing to have an entire month to explore a new country or go on a long road trip.
Yeah, I agree. I've always wanted to spend an entire month traveling around Europe and visiting as many countries as possible.
That sounds incredible. I'm sure you would have so many amazing experiences and memories from an entire month of travel.
But I think I would need to save up for quite a while to afford an entire month of travel expenses.
True, it would definitely require some planning and budgeting, but I think it would be worth it for the opportunity to have an entire month of adventure and discovery.
Couldn't agree more. Maybe we should start planning our own entire month of travel someday.
Count me in. But for now, let's wrap up our discussion of the word entire.
So, entire means whole, complete, or full, and it's used to emphasize that you're talking about all of something without leaving out any part.
Like an entire vacation or an entire day spent doing something.
Yes, Lisa.
Okay, let's move on to our next word.
The next word is to insist.
To insist.
To insist. To insist means to keep saying something when others disagree with or oppose what you say because you believe it is important. For example, my mom insists that I finish my homework before playing video games. It means that my mom keeps saying, after I finish my homework, I can play video games. She thinks this is very important.
Now I'll give the second example sentence. He insisted on coming with us to the store.
It means that he really wanted to come with us to the store, and he kept saying it until we said okay.
We use insist in 2 ways. Sometimes we use on, then something, or doing something after it. Like he insisted on doing nothing wrong.
The second way is, if you insist that someone does something, we use that. For example, John insists that he is right.
Yes, that's a good point, Eric. Now let's have a sample dialogue using the word insist.
Before the dialogue, let's watch the movie scenes.
That's very kind, but I insist. I'll pay.
He insisted on waiting in case I changed my mind.
Hey, do you want to go to the park?
Sure, but my sister insists that I clean my room first.
Oh no. Does she always insist on things like that?
Yes, she does. She insists on everything being perfect.
Well, let's clean your room quickly then.
It was a nice dialogue, Eric. Now let's talk a bit about the word insist. Why do you think people insist on things?
I think people insist because they believe something is very important, or they want something very much. For example, parents might insist that their children do their homework because they want them to learn.
Yes, that's true. In our dialogue, my sister insisted that I clean my room because she wants the house to be tidy.
Well, some people feel happy when everything is clean and in order.
Agreed. Eric, do you often insist on things?
Sometimes, yes, for example, I insist on doing my work on time. What about you, Lisa?
I usually insist on healthy eating. I think it's very important.
That's a good habit.
Yes, it is. Okay, is there anything else we need to say about to insist, Eric?
Just a reminder that insist is often used with on or that. For example, insist on doing something or insist that something is true.
And remember, it's a strong way to say you really want something to happen or believe something is true.
Exactly. Well, that's all for to insist. The next word is above all.
Above all.
Above all.
Above all means more than anything else or most importantly. We use it when we want to say that one thing is more important than other things.
Above all is often used to highlight the most important point or thing. Now, let's use above all in some sentences.
I'll start with the first example sentence. Above all, you must be kind to others.
It means that being kind to others is the most important thing, more important than anything else.
Now the second example. She loves many things, but above all, she loves painting.
It means that painting is the thing she loves the most, more than other things she loves.
When we use above all, it helps to show what is the most important.
It's a good point, Lisa. Now, let's have a sample dialogue. Using the phrase above all, Sarah and Tom are talking about their favorite hobbies at a park. After the movie scenes where above all is used.
I am a writer, a doctor, a nuclear physicist, a theoretical philosopher. But above all, I am a man.
I wanted to convey sheer size. And size means stability, luxury, and above all, strength.
I enjoy reading and cooking, but above all, I love painting.
That's interesting. I think painting is good, but above all, I enjoy playing soccer.
It sounds like we both have things we love the most.
That was a nice dialogue, Eric. Now let's talk a bit about the phrase above all. What would you say about the usage of the word above all?
I think it's important because it helps us express what is most important to us. For example, in the dialogue, they talked about what they preferred the most.
Yes, and using above all makes our sentences clearer and stronger. Do you use this phrase often?
Yes, I do, especially when I want to make a point about what matters the most to me.
Can you think of another situation where we might use this phrase?
Sure. For example, if I am talking about what I enjoy doing, I might say, I enjoy going on holiday, but above all, going somewhere with friends is the best.
That's a good example. It's a simple way to let people know what you value the most.
Absolutely. And it's useful in many different situations.
Well, that's all for above all. We hope our viewers understood how to use above all.
I think so, Lisa. Okay, the next word is to mess up.
To mess up.
To mess up.
Mess up is a phrasal verb. It means to make a mistake or to do something badly. It is often used when something goes wrong because of a mistake. For example, when you spill coffee on your favorite shirt or forget your friend's birthday. You've messed up.
Exactly, it's versatile. We can use it in various situations. For instance, if you're cooking and accidentally burn the pancakes, you'd say, "Oops, I messed up the pancakes."
And it's not just about physical actions. You can also mess up plans, relationships, or even your own schedule. Imagine you're late for a meeting. You'd say, "I really messed up my morning routine today."
Now, let's give our listeners a couple of example sentences to explain it further. I totally messed up my presentation at work. In this sentence, someone made a mistake during their work presentation. It means that during the presentation, something went wrong. Maybe the slides didn't work properly, or the speaker lost fluency. The important thing is that they made a mistake, and this mistake affected their performance.
Good explanation. This is mine. She messed up her chances of getting the job by arriving late to the interview. In this case, messing up refers to the person being late. Being late has damaged his chances of being hired. She didn't make a good impression.
Absolutely, Lisa. And remember, mess up can be used with or without an object. When we say, I messed up, it means I made a mistake in general. When we add an object, like, I messed up the test, it tells us the test was affected by the mistake.
Great point, Eric. Now, let's make a sample dialogue using our word after movie scenes. How about we set the scene at a coffee shop? Mark and Amber are sitting across from each other sipping their lattes.
Sounds good.
I convinced her that it would be fun to mess up Regina George's life.
I don't think that quitting swimming will mess up my life. I
really don't.
Mark, I must say, I messed up yesterday.
Oh, really? What happened?
Well, I was supposed to meet my friend for lunch, but I completely forgot. She waited for me for more than an hour. I messed up her day. I felt terrible.
It sometimes happens to everybody, but you should apologize soon and plan another lunch date. And don't forget next time.
It was a good example of the usage of mess up.
Agreed. And speaking of making things right, how about you, Eric? Any recent mess-ups?
Oh, I spilled coffee on my laptop this morning. It's a mess, but luckily, it's still working.
Eric, you really know how to mess up a good laptop. This was the second time you spilled your coffee.
Hey, at least it wasn't my phone this time.
Okay. Anyway, you should be careful otherwise. New laptops are very expensive nowadays.
Yes, I know, Lisa. Thank you for your reminder.
And there you have it, folks. A simple dialogue using to mess up. Remember, mistakes happen, but it's how we learn from them. Let's move on to the next word.
This word is our last word today. And it's an idiom. The last word is, it's not my cup of tea.
It's not my cup of tea.
It's not my cup of tea.
Yes, it is an idiom. If something is not your cup of tea, it is not the type of thing you like or are interested in. Example. Thanks for inviting me, but concerts are not really my cup of tea.
Yes, that's right. We use this idiom to say that something is not to our taste or preference. Let me use it in some sentences. Watching horror movies is not my cup of tea. This means that I do not like watching horror movies. They do not interest me.
Or, playing soccer is fun, but it's not my cup of tea.
It means that I think playing soccer is fun for others, but I do not enjoy playing it myself.
When we use this idiom, we often talk about activities or things we do not like.
Yes, that's a good point, Lisa. Now, let's watch the movie scenes and have a sample dialogue using the idiom, it's not a cup of my tea. And this time, we will play the dialogue, right?
Sounds good.
Flying is not my cup of tea.
Does that mean you can't wait to get out there, or that it's not your cup of tea?
Hey, do you want to go to the rock concert tonight?
Rock music is not a cup of my tea. How about going to the movies instead?
Sure, we can do that too. But why don't you like rock music?
I just prefer quieter music. Rock is too loud for me.
I understand. Everyone has different tastes.
How did I play the dialogue, Eric?
You did it very well, Lisa.
Oh, thank you, Eric.
You are welcome, Lisa. Okay, let's get back to the idiom. Why do you think this idiom is useful, Lisa?
I think it's useful because it's a polite way to say you don't like something. Instead of saying, I don't like it, you can say, it's not my cup of tea. And it sounds nicer, doesn't it? In our dialogue, I said that rock music is not my cup of tea.
Exactly. And using this idiom helps us gently express our dislikes.
Yes, it does. Do you think there are other idioms like this that learners should know?
There are many idioms in English, but it's not my cup of tea is a good one to start with because it's easy to understand and use.
I agree. And it's also fun to say.
Yes, it's fun. Well, that's all for today's words. Thanks for listening to Simply Explained English.
We hope you enjoyed learning with us today.
Remember to practice and study the new words you learned.
We'll be back soon with more simple explanations. See you next time.
Bye for now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Simply Explained English, the podcast where we make learning English fun and easy. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Eric. In each episode, we break down English words and phrases so that you can learn them easily.
Let's get started and make English simple together. What are the words today, Eric?
The first word today is to nag. Then we will continue with severe and to make fun of something or someone. Then to look up something. And the final one is to be a walk in the park.
Let's start with the first word then.
The first word is to nag.
To nag.
To nag. To nag means to keep asking someone to do something, often in a way that is annoying. It's like telling someone to do something over and over again. It's like a broken record.
Yes, that can be quite annoying. Is there a special way to use this word in a sentence?
Yes, we can use it like this. To nag someone about something, or to nag someone to do something. Let's give our listeners some examples. Here's the first example sentence. John's mother always nags him to finish his homework.
It means that John's mother keeps telling him to finish his homework again and again in a way that might be annoying.
Here's another one. Sarah's friend nags her about going to the gym. It means that Sarah's friend keeps telling her to go to the gym, maybe too many times.
Now let's move on to our example dialogue. We'll use to nag a couple of times to show how it works in conversation. But first, movie clips. Are you ready, Eric?
Yes, let's go.
I can't take this constant nagging. I'm leaving you, Jerry.
Stop nagging me. You sound like a jealous husband.
Emma, why do you always nag me about taking out the trash?
I'm sorry, Jack, but you never do it unless I nag you. Can you please take it out now?
Okay, I'll do it right away. But you really don't need to nag me every time.
I wouldn't nag you if you remembered to do it.
That was a fun dialogue. Lisa, do you think Emma was right to nag Jack about the trash?
Well, I think she was trying to get him to help with housework. Sometimes people nag to remind others to do their part. Do you agree?
Yes, I think so too. But it can be a bit annoying for Jack if he feels like somebody always tells him what to do. Do you think there's a better way for Emma to remind Jack without nagging?
Maybe she could ask him nicely and remind him once. If he forgets, she could ask him again, but in a kind way without making him feel annoyed. What do you think?
I agree. A gentle reminder is often better than nagging. It's important to communicate in a way that doesn't make the other person feel upset.
Definitely. And remember, if you are asking someone to do something, it's good to be patient. Nagging can sometimes make things worse.
Yes, patience is key. And that's a wrap for this word. I hope our listeners found it helpful.
I hope so, Eric.
The next word is severe.
Severe.
Severe. Severe is an adjective that means very bad or serious. For example, if you have a severe headache, it means your headache is very painful.
Yes, and you can also have severe for weather, like very bad weather, like a big storm.
For example, the storm was so severe that it knocked down trees. It means that the storm was very strong and caused a lot of damage. And here is another example. She had a severe cold and couldn't go to school. This means her cold was very bad, and she was too sick to go to school.
It's important to remember that severe is often used with problems or situations that are very serious.
Yes, and you can also use it to describe a person's behavior. For example, a teacher might be severe if they are very strict.
Great explanation, Eric. Now, after the movie clips, let's make a short dialogue, using the word severe. Our characters are Anna and John, and they are talking about the weather.
Surely you don't mean...
David has suffered a severe trauma.
I'd say severe turbulence, definitely severe turbulence.
Did you hear about the weather forecast? They said there will be a severe storm tonight.
Yes, I heard that too. The news said it might be very dangerous.
I hope it's not as severe as last year's storm. That one was really bad.
I agree. We should be careful and stay inside to stay safe.
So in this dialogue, Anna and John are talking about a severe storm. They are worried. It might be very bad and dangerous.
Right. They use severe to describe the storm, meaning it could cause a lot of problems.
Now, Eric, have you ever experienced something severe?
Yes, I had a severe flu last winter. I was in bed for a whole week. It was really bad.
That must have been tough. Did you have to see a doctor?
Yes, I did. The doctor said it was severe, but I got better with some medicine and rest.
It's really important to take care of ourselves during severe illnesses.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that severe means something is very bad or serious. It might be about weather, illness, or anything else. It's always a good idea to be prepared and careful.
Great advice, Eric. Let's move on to the next word.
The next word is make fun of somebody or something.
Make fun of somebody or something.
Make fun of somebody or something. This phrase means to laugh at someone or to joke about them in a way that might not be very nice.
That's right, Eric. When you make fun of somebody, you are saying things that might make them feel bad. It's not a very nice thing to do.
Exactly, Lisa. It's important to understand that making fun of someone can hurt their feelings. Let's give some examples to make it clear.
Sure, Eric. Our first example sentence is, Tom made fun of his friend's new haircut. It means that Tom laughed at his friend's haircut and maybe said something unkind about the haircut.
In this case, Tom's words or actions might make his friend feel sad or embarrassed. The next example is, the kids made fun of Jane because she wore glasses.
It means that the kids said things that could make Jane feel unhappy about her glasses. Remember, making fun of someone is not friendly or kind.
Yes, Lisa. And about the grammar, make fun of is a phrase that needs to be followed by somebody or something, like make fun of somebody or something.
Exactly. Now let's watch the movie clips and use make fun of somebody in a short dialogue to see how it's used in conversation.
Yeah, so hurry up and order and get out of here so we can make fun of you.
Oh, I don't know if you're in a position to make fun of anyone anymore, Graves.
Hi, Jenny. Did you see how the boys made fun of Lucy at lunch?
Yes, Mark, it was not nice. They made fun of her because she wore a funny hat.
I think Lucy felt very sad when they made fun of her. We should tell them to stop.
I agree. No one should make fun of others. It's hurtful.
In this dialogue, Mark and Jenny are talking about how the boys made fun of Lucy.
Additionally, it shows how making fun of someone can make them feel bad. Lisa, have you ever seen someone making fun of others? How did it make you feel?
Yes, Eric, I have. It made me sad for the person being laughed at. It's not a good thing to see or hear.
I agree. It's important to be kind to others and not make fun of them. We should always think about how our words can affect someone.
Yes, kindness is very important. By the way, Eric, do you think making fun of someone can sometimes be just a joke? Or is it always bad?
It depends, Lisa. Sometimes people joke with their friends, and it's okay if everyone is happy, and no one gets hurt. But if it makes someone feel bad, then it's not good.
That's a good point, Eric. Always be careful with your words and make sure they are kind and friendly.
Yes, and that's all for make fun of. We hope this helps our viewers understand it. Okay, the next word is look up something.
Look up something.
Look up something. Look up something means to search for information about something, usually in a book or on the internet.
Yes, it's like finding out more information about something you don't know. You can look up words, facts, or any information you need.
Exactly. Let's look at some examples. The first sentence is, if you don't know a word, you can look it up in the dictionary.
It means that if you don't understand a word, you can find its meaning by searching for it in the dictionary.
Right? Here's another example. She looked up the recipe online to make a cake.
This means that she found the recipe on the internet to know how to make the cake.
Now, let's talk about how to use look up something. You can say look up something or look something up, and both mean the same thing. For example, look up a word or look a word up. But if you use a pronoun, it must go between look and up. For example, look it up, not look up it.
Great point, Eric. Let's make a short dialogue using look up something after the movie clips. Our characters will be Alex and Maria. They are talking about finding information online.
You know, I looked it up in the dictionary.
The next night that my mom worked late, I looked up that poem again.
I need to look up some information for my school project. Do you have any suggestions?
You can look up a lot of useful things on the internet. What do you need to find?
I need to look up some facts about the solar system, but I'm not sure where to start.
You should look up educational websites. They usually have good information.
In this dialogue, Alex and Maria discuss looking up information for a school project and finding useful information on the internet.
Yes, Alex needs to look up the right information about the solar system.
Do you often look up information online?
Yes, I do it all the time. Whenever I don't know something, I look it up on the internet. It's very helpful.
That's great. What kind of things do you usually look up?
I look up many things, like recipes, news, and sometimes even how to fix things around the house. The internet is a great resource.
Absolutely. I also look up information online a lot. It's very convenient to find answers to our questions so quickly.
Yes, it's important to know how to find reliable information. Not everything on the internet is correct.
That's true. We should always check that the information we look up comes from a reliable source.
So remember, look up something means to search for information about something. It's a useful phrase for finding out new things.
Absolutely. Okay. I think we have explained look up something well. So now let's explain our last word today.
The last word today is to be a walk in the park.
To be a walk in the park.
To be a walk in the park.
To be a walk in the park. This is a fun idiom. What does it mean, Eric?
It means something is very easy to do. It's like saying it's simple or not difficult at all.
Yes, just like taking a walk in a park is usually easy and pleasant. If something is a walk in the park, it means it's easy and not stressful.
Exactly. For example, the math test was a walk in the park for Jane because she studied a lot.
It means that the math test was very easy for Jane because she prepared well for it.
Right. Here's another example. Fixing the bike was a walk in the park for Tom because he has done it many times.
This means that fixing the bike was very easy for Tom because he has a lot of experience with it.
Yes, and it sometimes can be used to compare things. For example, you might say, compared to the last project, this one is a walk in the park.
Great point, Eric. Let's make a short dialogue using a walk in the park. Our characters will be Chris and Linda. They are talking about their recent work tasks. But first, movie clips.
2 grandkids. I've been married 29 years and it hasn't always been a walk in the park.
Pick out one specific dimple and zero in.
With bifocals, this isn't a walk in the park, you know.
How was your meeting today, Linda?
It was a walk in the park. The clients were very nice and the presentation went well.
That's great to hear. My report was a walk in the park too. It didn't take long to finish.
It's nice when things are a walk in the park. It makes the day so much better.
I agree. I wish every day could be a walk in the park.
In this dialogue, Chris and Linda described their tasks as a walk in the park, meaning they were easy and not stressful.
Yes, Lisa.
Eric, do you have any examples where something was a walk in the park for you?
Yes, setting up my new computer was a walk in the park. It was very easy because the instructions were clear.
Clear instructions can really make things a walk in the park.
Absolutely. Have you had any tasks recently that were a walk in the park, Lisa?
Yes, I tried to bake cookies last weekend. It was a walk in the park. The recipe was easy to follow and the cookies turned out delicious.
That sounds like fun. It's always nice when cooking or baking is a walk in the park.
Definitely. It makes the whole experience enjoyable. So remember, to be a walk in the park means that something is very easy to do.
Yes, and it's a great idiom to use when you want to describe something that was not difficult at all. Okay, our followers. That's it for today's episode of Simply Explained English. We hope you found our explanations helpful and easy to understand.
We're so glad you joined us. Tune in to the next episode for more words to improve your English.
Until next time, keep practicing and have fun with English. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Take care and see you soon.